Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. This is InugamiTheHound. Back. It's been a few days. Sorry. Didn't stream on Wednesday or Thursday, and now I'm streaming here Friday night. Hopefully, this means it's a positive thing. Sorry, I've just been busy with life, and also I've been reading. I haven't really been touching a whole lot of games. I just felt like this week I was gonna read. I read a lot. I finished 2 books this week. I'm about to finish a third pretty soon.
Good morning. Actually, it's 11:30,
Hmm.
so most of the morning is already over. Awesome. Who needs coffee when I get to wake up to this fresh brew of passive aggression? I'm just saying it must be nice to wake up right before lunch after I've already. What time did you go to sleep last night? I went to bed at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock? Oh, okay. So did you finish your crossword puzzle first, or were you too busy watching Wheel of Fortune reruns? Okay, but at least I'm productive. Just shut up. Neither of you is better than the other. You just both have different sleeping schedules and times of day when you're the most productive. And both of you would be a lot happier if you didn't run the blender at 6:30 in the morning. But I need my smoothies. And you didn't watch Rick and Morty episodes at full volume at 2 a.m. You know what? I actually don't have an excuse for that. Wait, when do you sleep? Oh, no, I don't sleep. I'm laughing too long, aren't I?
Hmm. I love these little shorts. They're really good. Those been good. Still 8 hours sleep. 8:30 still in the morning. Is the correct phrase. Alrighty then. Let's see what else is there. Let's see. Is there anything good to watch? Let's see. Oh yeah, I need to play the new Elder Scrolls game. Maybe that might be the game I could replace. Always try to play something new. Is that obscure game maybe South of Midnight? Let's see. Let's see if God, it's like nothing good right now. Hmm. Let's see. Let's check this one out. Alright, this might be interesting. Something sports related.
It is the Ole Miss quarterback, Jackson Dart.
I'm gonna fight and die to protect them with everything I got.
Quote of the night. Will Campbell will fight and die to protect Drake May. Drake May is my winning QB, as the Patriots found the one guy willing to die for him. Not sure how you replace Will Campbell when he's dead, but I do love it. The biggest winner of the entire NFL draft may have been Joe Flacco. I do love it.
Let's see. You got Cam Moore, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Abdul Carter, William Campbell. Let's see that one. I don't think, yeah, Texans don't have the first 32 picks, right? Oh.
The biggest winner of the entire NFL draft may have been Joe Flacco. I don't think he's actually as old as Dion, but his chances of starting all the games for the Browns next season improved. And maybe the wildest moment came at the top of the second round when the Saints selected quarterback Tyler Shuck.
He played parts of 7 seasons in college football.
With Shadur Sanders still available. Who the fuck is Shuck? Well, if you watch my video about him, you will know. The biggest losers in this draft, the 29 dumb butt teams that let these top right corner players fall to the Chiefs, Eagles, and Ravens. Nothing is more terrifying than a top right corner quadrant player going to an already very good team. The first round of the 2025 NFL draft ended up being a little bit more fun than
So they got themselves some good corners, man. What the fuck? Are you stupid? You gave it to Ravens, Eagles, and the fucking Chiefs. Ah, God damn, dog. Fucking morons.
Corner quadrant player going to an already very good team. The first round of the 2025.
Speaking of football, I've been reading. I finished 2 books already. I'm reading another one of the Out of Position series, and they talk a lot about football. I'm not gonna lie, it is a much older series, so I think there's now talking about like getting iPhones and stuff like that. Like in 2009, I think it takes place. Yeah, so, but still, it's still a very good book series. You learn a lot about football, ins and outs of the game itself, but also like ins and outs of the business.
Being a little bit more fun than we thought.
Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado.
Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
Wow.
We had a couple surprise trades and draft picks. I'm Brandon Perna, and by the power vested in me by the Hera Melkiper
NFL draft
And the brains of Daniel Jeremiah.
I love they
Let
still
me
boo
reveal
Roger
to you
Goodell.
the biggest winners and losers from the 2025 NFL Draft, and we're gonna kick it off with a special draft edition of the Blop 10 plays. Blop 10, Deion Sanders, cueing the music to
Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
cover up his disappointment when the Saints passed on Shadeur at 9. Blop 9, the cameraman making Ashton Genty look even shorter than 5'8". Would it kill you to pan down there? Tall guy, tall guy, tall guy.
Who let the kid in the draft green room?
Blop 8, Darren Ravel tweeting this. Thank you, Darren. I always wanted to know what the players were wearing under their really cool and elaborate suits. Next year, make sure to tell us who's got a butt plug in when we hear their name called, okay, Darren? Blop 7, the most self-gratifying draft pick out there. Okay, baseball, I know that's baseball, but how could I not put that in today's episode? Tommy Pham? More like Tommy Fap. Blop 6, Mason Graham gave Liam Cohen the Duval in their interview.
As I hit Coach Cohen with that, I hit the Duval right when I walked in the meeting.
The balls on this kid to walk into a job interview and immediately make fun of the most important person in the room. I can't help but respect it immensely.
Like the first thing you said to him?
Yeah.
What did you say?
He just started laughing. Everyone started laughing. It was funny.
Duval.
But do not try this at home, kids, unless you too are in the top 0.1% in your field. Even then, you might get stuck playing for the Browns. Blop 5, the Jaguars' Fountain of Youth General Manager, Joey Gladstone.
Cut it out. I love you, kid.
This guy is younger than most of the players.
God damn, he looks really young. My God, that guy is super fucking young. My God, man.
He's going to select this weekend. One day he's going to be able to grow a mustache just like Shad Khan. And after he traded with the Browns, Cleveland might be in trouble for taking advantage of a minor. Blop 4, Roger Goodell rode out onto the draft on a bike without a helmet. You're the commissioner of the biggest sports league in America, and you come out on a bicycle without any protection on your head? How can you pretend to care about concussions? And what about the kids who see you riding a bike carelessly with no helmet, Roger? Safety my ass. Safety my ass. Blop 3, Clay Matthews almost got us.
Let's see, what the fuck? What is wrong with the NFL owners? Are they stupid? Deion Sanders is a great college football player. In the NFL, he's also a good coach. So he's that voice Shadeur is correct. Should have phenomenal genes, and also Dana should be picked immediately by a team that wants to win. Good luck.
Just got off the phone with the president, Donald Trump. He asked me to pass the message along.
Former players talking trash to their rivals has escalated through the years at the NFL draft.
It says, my fellow Americans, the Bears still suck!
Blop 2, Pat McAfee hitting that weed at the draft.
See?
ESPN went from this
Stay off the damn weed.
to literally this.
You might have seen a video. That was CBD and vitamins that were happening over here. Yeah. Don't you worry, that was not what you think it was.
Sure, Pat, sure. And this
It's okay for him to do it, but not the players. Remember.
This is a 6-pack, Pat. This is a beautiful 6-pack. And Blop 1, it's puking baby. A cute little baby just barfed when Kelvin Banks got the call from the Cowboys. Safe to say that baby really hates the Dallas Cowboys. Or maybe he didn't like the positional value of taking a guard that early. It's really hard to say because while a baby is smart enough to know those things instinctually, they're too dumb to know how to talk and tell us directly.
The Bears still suck!
Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Today's episode is sponsored by Underdog. The goal is, I know that's not draft related, but I highly recommend Underdog if we get those mainly effective way to do it. My biggest loser of the night was not a team nor a player. It was media guy Jordan Schultz, who kept tipping the draft picks on Twitter. Oh, you think it's cool to tip the picks before the commissioner announces them on live television, Jordan? Well,
What an
it's
asshole.
not. There's nothing worse than you scrolling through your timeline and seeing a reporter who couldn't keep it in their pants for 2 more minutes. In some cases, Schultz was 2 picks ahead of the TV, and I have no idea how that even works. But maybe Ian Rappaport needs to get to the nearest Starbucks and finish the job and teach Jordan a fucking lesson. NFL reporters have agreed to not tip picks in the first round out of a courtesy to us fans, and Schultz betrayed that oath to try and gain followers. Thus, he is not a reporter, and we need to shadow ban his ass. Losers, Cowboys fans who thought they were getting a top flight receiver at pick 12. Also losers, guys named Tyler who are forced to play offensive line for the Cowboys at an alarming rate. You got 3 Tylers on your offensive line. That's crazy. Jerry Jones is 82, so there's no way to know for certain that he's not mixing up his Tylers at this point. Now, Tyler Booker might be great, but I would not have drafted a 3rd Tyler. Nobody has ever won shit with 3 Tylers on their roster. Winning psychopath? Tyler Booker.
What does it feel like to see the love of football leave someone's eyes?
It feels great, you know?
It takes a truly insane baller to talk about how he loves watching other men's joy for football drain from their eyes when he plays against them.
I start to see that love leave their eyes. Like, that's what makes me love the game. Like, I just really love
Damn.
Winning draft steal? It always
What the fuck? That guy's like a psychopath, man.
feels like a good team got a steal at the end of round 1 because that's just how good teams stay good. But the Ravens got a safety to pair alongside Kyle Hamilton when they took Georgia safety Malachi Starks, and the Eagles got a stud linebacker with Jihad Campbell. Both players seem like massive culture fits, but I'm going to give the edge to the Ravens for Starks.
He's such a smart player. Day 1, he started for Kirby Smart.
Because the Eagles traded up 1 spot with that warlock who lives inside of the devil's asshole, Brett Veach of the Chiefs, to get Campbell. Surely that 5th rounder they gave the Chiefs won't turn into the next Chris Jones or Travis Kelce, right? Right? Winning trade? There was a massive trade just 2 picks into the draft when the Browns got a haul to move 3 spots down, handing the 2nd overall pick to the Jaguars. To no one's surprise, the Jags took Travis Hunter with the 2nd overall pick. That's the biggest gamble in this draft, I think. I like the pick for Jacksonville, and I probably would have liked Travis Hunter on any roster. He's going to be an excellent zone corner for the Jags and give Trevor Lawrence a little bit of help on offense as well. I'm sure Liam Cohen's got big plans for him at wide receiver. And then that babyface GM from Jacksonville gave us the greatest player endorsement I've ever seen.
Thinking about the sport of football and really the power of the game itself, right? Its capacity to ignite belief, right? Belief in ourselves, belief in others, right? Belief in achieving what many may deem impossible. Travis Hunter, he embodies belief, right? He's a rare person.
My god, this guy's like, look how fucking intense he looks like that. Oh. Hey there, Marbig, what's up? Hi there. Look at him, look how intense his eyes are.
He's
His
a rare
speech.
player, but he's also a reminder that the boundaries of the game of football were built to be challenged. And so the decision to select him was actually a statement for how we plan to move, who we are, and we want him to be nothing more than him.
Yeah.
I also really like the Browns moving down, getting Mason Graham, and stacking more picks for a team that needs a lot of cheap assets to figure it out. The Browns were not a Travis Hunter away from being good. The Jags, well, they actually might be. This was one of those rare trades where I think both teams probably won, even if the price was steep, and Jacksonville just sold a shit ton of tickets, too. that pool is going to be packed to see football Shohei Ohtani this fall. My sneaky trade, the Rams. So the Browns added a first rounder next year, but so did the Rams. LA traded out of the first with the Falcons, and the fact that they got a first in next year's draft is huge for LA, who could be in the quarterback market come 2026. Atlanta added Jalen Walker and James Pierce, addressing their pass rush for the first time in years. Walker is a great value pick, and Pierce has a ton of upside. Loser, Tyler Warren for having to go to the Colts. No clue how Dallas didn't trade up to get Tyler Warren too. The spirit of Dallas, Dallas Clark, lives on. Another incredible white tight end wearing number 44 has gone to the Indianapolis Colts. There's one minor difference. Instead of catching passes from Peyton Manning, he'll be catching passes from either Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones. Tyler Warren might immediately be the best quarterback in that building if you watched him take snaps at Penn State. If he can add 20 inches to his vertical jump, he could make Anthony Richardson the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. Most polarizing pick, tight end, Colston Loveland to the Bears at 10.
Wow, so it's Colston Loveland, not Tyler Warren. That's a bit of a surprise.
It would take two big dicks to make this move. Poles and Johnson. Literally translates to penis and penis. So the Bears did have the girth to draft the second best tight end ahead of the best one in this draft. I think Chicago believes Loveland is a better fit for their offense and probably has a bit more of a ceiling as a pass catcher. Warren and Loveland were close, but I think Bears fans fear this is like 2023 with the Bills drafting Dalton Kincaid a handful of spots ahead of Sam Laporta. Biggest surprise? Jahdae Barron. We fucking got McConaughey tweeting at the Broncos. Yes. If this is True Detective or Dazed and Confused McConaughey, we are winning the Super Bowl. If it's Dallas Buyers Club McConaughey, we probably have AIDS. Just about everyone was mocking either a running back or a wide receiver to the Broncos. They were not mocking a corner, a position where Denver has the reigning Defensive Player of the Year holding it down on one side of the field. Either way, the Broncos passed up on Omarion Hampton and went with the best player left on their board, which turned out to be Jim Thorpe award-winning corner Jahdae Barron with the 20th overall pick.
This big-time player, in my opinion, the best corner in the draft, who's going to plug in as the nickel.
So ultimately,
I hope he does get well, man. He played for UT, so he's probably pretty damn decent. Especially on the defensive side. Well, technically he's not an offensive player. That could be a hit or a miss, but defense players usually do pretty good.
Like this. No Fly Zone 2.0. Barron is extremely versatile and is going to fit well with PS2 and Riley Moss. The days of Levi Wallace getting cooked by Jerry Jeudy are over. Barron might be playing in the slot ahead of Jaquan McMillan, who we love here in Denver, but McMillan was the most targeted slot player in the entire league last year. So just having some options there is great. The winning positional group, offensive linemen, boring as hell, I know, but 7 O-linemen win in round 1. If your team drafted a lineman, Minnesota, New York, Washington, Kansas City, Dallas, you probably all got better. But literally nobody cares. Winning, taking the high road, Aaron Glenn, when he was asked about Aaron Rodgers shitting on him.
Do you have any response to what he said on the show?
Absolutely. Mimbo's a really good player, and I'm so excited he's a Jet.
I think the quarterbacks were the most losingest position group on Thursday night. I mean, how could they not be after 6 were taken in the first 12 picks a year ago? We had Cam Ward go first overall.
The Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
How did you get picked? Cam Ward, a massive winner, by the way. Maybe the least talked about #1 overall quarterback since ever. The spotlight's not on him, and I think that's actually a great thing. Hide in the shadows, Cam, and surprise the hell out of everyone this fall. A couple hours passed before the Giants traded back into the first round to take Jackson Dart.
That's why.
A pick I don't think anyone outside...
That's why. They took the Texans pick. That's why.
But
hey,
Joe Shane and
I'm
his
hoping the
son
Texans can actually
were
draft
all that
well.
happy about.
I'm tired of
Jalen
them being
Milroe
shit
was
garbage.
at the draft, and he had to sit through 32 picks without hearing his name called, which has to be a little rough. Of course, the big story of the night was Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders falling completely out of the first round. much to the chagrin of Mel Kiper. So overall, we only got 2 QBs taken in the first round, slightly better than 2013 and 2022 when only 1 quarterback was taken, but a far cry from what we've become accustomed to. Ultimately, the draft is a lot less interesting when quarterbacks aren't getting selected. Winning prophecy? This drunk Giants fan who was interviewed by the Bussin' with the Boys before the draft.
1.3 Abdul Carter, okay? And then you have back into the third round. Trade your second, one of your thirds, all right? Get back into the first round, right? And drink it. Does that sound right? Does that sound about right? That sounds great.
He perfectly predicted what the Giants would do. Now, Jackson Dart, massive winner for getting drafted in the first round by the Giants, leapfrogging Shedeur without throwing any more passes since January. That's amazing. And many football experts like his game film more than Sanders. Dan Orlovsky loves his pocket presence and says he has the best arm in this class. On paper, this situation is great. He doesn't have to start. He gets Brian Dable as his head coach, the man who helped mold Josh Allen into the perfect specimen he is. But his mentors are Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. He'll be dropping the worst catchphrases and stealing crab legs in no time. I think the Giants may have helped their team the most in the first round. Best player available in Abdul Carter at pick 3 and possibly a franchise QB at 25. And the Giants didn't even have to cough up a first round draft pick to get Jackson Dart. Great value. And yes, the losing quarterback was Shedeur Sanders. Bigger losers? All the people relishing in the fact that he fell out of the first round. Who knows if he'll be good in the NFL at this point? And it's cool if you didn't think he was a first-round prospect. I get that. I'm happy that you know ball. But I think taking a victory lap when someone gets bitch-slapped by the reality of the NFL draft, it's a weird look. Unless it's me talking about someone I don't like. This must have been Shedeur Sanders in his interviews for him to fall this far.
You see this watch? Yeah. That watch costs more than your car. I made $970,000 last year. How much you made?
Losing receipt? Deion Sanders tweeting about Shedeur being a top 5 pick made its way back into the Twitter sphere. That was from last May, and it got community noted. And I think this brings up an important ethical question. Should community notes be applied to trash talking? There's a very good chance Derek Carr doesn't play football this season with a shoulder injury, and the Saints at the top of the second round selected quarterback Tyler Shuck. Saints, winners, I guess. You had Shedeur Sanders available, you went Shuck. If Tyler Shuck is good, this is going to be one of the best stories from this draft. His 7-year journey through college football is quite wild. I don't know what's going on with Shedeur Sanders. That I don't know, but...
What's that? And then I couldn't unsee it when I went back to tape.
Well, if you're looking for the best pure thrower of the ball, it's Tyler Shuck.
If Jackson Dart develops into a good NFL quarterback, the Steelers will be giant losers, pun intended. There's other quarterbacks in this class, and Pittsburgh will draft one. Electing for a defensive tackle when a team who has a better quarterback situation than you moves up to take the quarterback you could have had at 21 opens you up for a lot of criticism. If you end up with Jalen Milroe and he's great, I'll revise, because ultimately I think the Derek Harmon pick's very good for the Steelers. And in probably the most gut-wrenching story from the draft, Derek Harmon's mom passed away shortly after he was drafted. So take out the quarterback. I think we're all rooting for the guy, and I think that is a crazy emotional situation to be in, getting drafted to the NFL.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. He got drafted and his mom passed away. Like what?
Oh, while your mom is sick, we're rooting for you, Derek. Winning college? This goes to Ohio State, who had the most first-round dudes selected at number 4. The interesting thing for Ohio State winning this honor is their first player didn't go until pick 19 when the Buccaneers kind of surprisingly drafted receiver Emeka Egbuka. Guard Donovan Jackson went to the Vikings at 24, giving them really nice stability for the interior of their line. Tyleik Williams at 28 to the Lions to beef up their D-line. And with the final pick, the Chiefs drafted tackle Josh Simmons. Count them, 4 Buckeyes. And if Josh Simmons protects Mahomes' blind side the way I think he will, I will want to stab out my eyes. so I can be blind. I also wanted to give an honorable mention to Michigan, who had 3 players drafted in the first round. Mason Graham, Colston Loveland, and Kenneth Grant all went top 15. Jim Harbaugh's been gone for a year, but you can see just how deep his recruiting classes still are. This is what happens when you go as far as to bunk with your recruits. They all get drafted. Losing colleges, the Ivy League. Have fun with your brains, because you got no athletes in the first round like usual, you pompous, smug pricks. You're gonna have to wait until those Fitzpatrick kids are draft eligible to correct this shit, aren't ya? Enemy of my enemy, the Raiders and Chargers. The Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers all needed a running back, so it is a little awkward watching your division rivals both draft top 2 running backs when your team goes corner. I hate that Ashton Jeanty is a Raider. Ashton Jeanty feels like the sexiest pick of the first round, too.
You talk about 2 guys who hate to be tackled.
The Raiders just stayed at 6 and got a dude who could be the best skill player in this draft class. Denver really never had a chance to get Jeanty, so I'm more worried about Amarian Hampton rushing for 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns as the Chargers win 14 games this season. Missed opportunity goes to Sean McDermott. Jihad was available for the Bills at pick 30. Imagine how well his 9/11 speeches would land with a dude named Jihad in the locker room. And my favorite guy, Maxwell Harrison. Not just because he was the best supporting actor.
You have hugged every single prospect that has been called before you tonight.
Showing nothing but love for every guy drafted before him in the green room, but the corner from Kentucky who was selected by the Bills showcased what the NFL draft is all about.
I'm so happy to hear my name called. It's truly a dream come true.
His nickname is Mad Max Harrison, which is a terrible nickname for a guy who seems so damn nice.
Me everywhere I go. I love my family, man. My biggest support system.
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on this YouTube channel. Thank you guys, all of you who...
Alright, looks like everyone got some good draft picks. So it looks like the teams are going to get a lot better. At least a lot of offensive linemen. Which is good, I have to say, because they really need it. So many teams that needed it. The quarterbacks were just getting fucked the entire season. And because of the, 17 games? Yeah, it's like 17 games instead of, 16, right? It should be an 18-game, season, 4 preseason, 18 games, 2 bye weeks. There you go. That's how you fix it. That's me, man. Alright, and let's see who else can we watch. Game Wolf 6, see here anything interesting? Still playing Lush Shards. Alright.
Hello.
We're gonna watch Game of Wolf 6 doing some nice reaction streaming. I'm reacting to his content. Let's see.
And we'll
Playing Echo.
Tune in, let's play. Game of Wolf 6 of Echo. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that made this game and are making other games, you can go to Patreon. $3 a month. I don't know why it's so hard for me to change that. I've done it, for the previous route, and then I had to unchange it. But anyways, on the last Let's Play, we went looking for something that will help us get out of this place. But Raven found the thing that it was able to read, missing Masetta child, and then it burst into flames. Cause, you know, otherworldly stuff. And then we looked for some more things, couldn't find anything else. Carl was acting a bit weird. We went to sleep, had a nightmare, and yelled in our dreams, at which point Jenna thought Carl was doing something and attacked Carl. And it's, you know, shadow thing. You know, probably the same kind of shadow thing that was behind William in Cliff's room? You know? Hey, so, face that face. It's been a long day. And continue. I turn back to Carl, who has his arms around his head, face still buried in the ground. After a while, I see his shoulders heaving with sobs. Gently, I pull one of his arms back, and he looks up at me. This time, I recognize his face. Okay, that would have been a good scene change. I sit next to Carl on the bed, mopping up his face with his bloody button-up shirt. He sits there silently, looking at his hands while I work. At least nothing's broken. Hey, it's him from, that other route. Dude, what happened? I'm not sure if he's talking about what happened with Jenna, or just everything. I've been asking that same...
Yeah, man, I mean, that's a good look on him. Show off his muscles here, his chest. Honestly, he doesn't look very happy right now, but if he's happy in general, he'll look a lot better. And most importantly, God, eyeballs, man. Be itchy the worst time.
Same question since we got here. He looks at his hands again. I felt different. I sit back and look him over, satisfied with having cleaned up most of his face. You're acting different too. Like, I felt like I knew everything. I knew what I was doing. You're acting really confident. You're acting really confident and, you know, assertive. And took the initiative. Not like how you usually are. That would be a very bad way of doing that. I agree, and set his bloody shirt off the side. When I look back at him, he seems so sad and beaten down that I have to hug him. Dude, you're gonna make me start crying again. His voice cracks, but he hugs back anyway. I'm just glad you're back. I felt like I was talking to a stranger. Carl leans against me and sighs. I don't know if I'm glad though. It's like I just came down from a huge high. I rubbed his shoulder for a while before I venture forward with my guess. Was it James? I don't know. Maybe. Carl looks at his hands again, like he's questioning if they're even his. I just feel like I knew what I wanted, and when things didn't go my...
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about when it comes to his hands, you know, because, you know, he's a poof character, so if you put them all together, they're like all hard and everything. They weird. So if I ever get like a partial, you know, fursuit, you know, head and hooves for my hands and feet, you know, maybe I can get one that has a little clickety clackety, so make it more realistic, and a tail.
My way, I thought they would get really pissed. And when things didn't go the way I thought they would, I'd get really pissed. Ah, I read that wrong. He's silent for a while. I imaged contemplating what he had just gone through. Jenna isn't really acting like herself either. Carl looks up at that. Yeah, I felt like whatever was in me, whatever it is, really hates what Jenna was doing, for some reason. Jenna is doing. You mean beating you? Carl looks around at the room, scanning it with his dark green eyes. I feel like all of this is some kind of mental fight between James and whatever else is fighting against him. He looks down in his hands. That's why we have to do all of this. He falls back into silence and don't ask any more questions. When to let him rest a bit. There is one nagging thought that comes to my mind though. This is kind of stupid, but what happened back in the mansion? You know, that thing between us? He looks up at me, and I feel my face flush, looking away. I guess I'm wondering if any of that was real. I mean, if it was really you feeling that way. Carl doesn't say anything, so I'm forced to look up at him. When I do, he has a sad sort of smile on his face. Dude, I think that was the only part of me that was real. Yay. Well, that was my hand on the chair. I wasn't...
Well, technically, well, I don't think he's officially bi, but he's at least bi-curious. Carl.
In one rip. Anyways, despite where we are, despite everything that's happening, that somehow makes me incredibly happy. Happy enough to lean forward and kiss him. He kisses back, and while it's barely more than a peck, it was my entire body, has my entire body feeling warm. He puts his own arm around me after I pull back, and I rest my head on his shoulder. So were you dating Carl in this route? Because let's see, first route, we weren't really dating anybody, but we tried to go after TJ. Then we were dating Leo, but then we separated and went with Kudzu. And then Jenna's route, we banged Jenna, because we like ladies. And now we're going for Carl. I feel like it's gonna try to come back, though. I look at him. What, James? Whatever it is, I can already feel it. Like, it's on the edge of my mind. Do you think you can fight it? Carl sighs, then looks at me. Should I? What do you mean? I mean, it made me feel amazing. Like I could do anything. Maybe we need that? I frown. I don't know. Not only that, but I feel like I knew what to do. It might save us. I mean, not wrong. He stares back in my eyes. I know, it's not really me, but it'll probably only be for the time that we're here. I look away thinking, then I'll be back to my old self. He squeezes my shoulder, but it's important to me what you think. We're in this together. Ew. I feel like this.
Also, I noticed he has a big prominent bulge right there too. I noticed that.
Is one of them choices that's really gonna change the thing. Oop. Oh, right. Safety save. Because I think like the choice here is gonna be. Realistically, if I was doing it, I would choose this one. Because it might help us, but I'm feeling like he has to fight it, gain confidence in himself kind of thing. No. Whether or not it made Carl feel good, I can't shake a bad feeling it gives me. I rest a hand on his. No. After everything that's happened, I don't trust whatever it is. Carl watches me closely. Seriously, we need to be more careful. Besides, I lean my hand against his shoulder again. We are in this together. We don't need that thing meddling with us to get through it. I feel some tension.
Let's see. Let's see. I got a comment. Let's see.
go out of Carl's muscles.
Whoops.
Then
Let's see. It's not very big, but it is about
we wrap each other more tightly
Alright, I love my comment.
into our respective
It helps
phrases. We sat there for a while, Carl absorbing what I just said. It's clear that whatever's influencing Carl, and probably Jenna, is powerful, and we had to be careful. Whatever he decides, I just pray it's the right decision.
I mean, he's probably already done with this route, but I'm gonna say he did pick the right thing between those two choices. He avoided the true bad end.
My head throbbing a bit from laying on the stiff pillow, made of wood. Like the last time I woke up, it takes me a while to realize where I am. And, just like last time, I get the sinking feeling in my stomach. Then I realize where that is. I lay on my side, staring at the wall in front of me, watching shadows dance along the log bumps. It's depressing, though not as much as last time. At some point, I guess I realized there wasn't much I could do. Just go with it and hope something comes of it. At least, there seemed to be a goal in mind, of whatever had control of this. Whatever it was. Suddenly, I feel an arm over my hip, and I stiffen. Carl's breath breathes into the back of my neck. You okay? I feel the soft warmth of Carl's body press up against my back. Are you getting banged? It's been a long time since I felt someone spoon me. Thinking of Leo, though, only makes my stomach knot up even more. Yeah. Carl picks up on it right away. His broad muscle sneaks over my neck, and soon, he's pressing his cheek against mine. Which might hurt because, hey, what's right next to his cheek? Just saying. I can feel him hesitating as he does it, his movements kind of jerky and awkward. I almost laugh, but I have to remind myself that Carl probably hasn't done this before, at least not since high school. Definitely not with a guy, at least. I mean, I wonder when you'd learn about that stuff with Flynn. Besides that sides episode. A hand slides over mine, close to my crotch. He doesn't go lower though, and keeps it pressed against my body. It feels nice, having someone close to me like this. Even though I've given up on trying to understand the situation, I'm still scared about what's happening. I can feel Carl's heart beat.
I gotta lie, if it was freaking like casual little twangy song, does not like give off like the best impersonation. Like this is a real, dire situation.
Hitting hard against my back, and I wonder if he's thinking about the same things. That's when I feel his very hard dick pressing against my ass. I almost laugh again. Here I am, in a haunted ghost cabin, and my childhood friend is grinding up on me.
I mean, Leah's
Should
also
be
your
like a
childhood
picture
friend.
for that one thing. Actually, maybe I'll be like, hey, you should probably put that in your tweet or something. Carl feels me tense up and lifts his hand away from my stomach. Sorry, is this not? I roll over abruptly to face him. His green eyes immediately look away from mine, and I see red creeping underneath his thin fur of his ear. I decided to go with the same technique I used last night, and slide up against his soft body before pressing my lips against his. Are we actually gonna bang? It seems to break the ice, and he immediately responds, pressing his tongue against my lips before I open them to let it in. Carl's surprisingly good at tongue kissing, better than Leo was anyway. It glides over my tongue before flicking against my teeth. I never liked flicking against teeth. I'm momentarily worried about how I haven't brushed for the last 2 days, but Carl doesn't seem to mind. He hasn't either, after all. Grabs hands around my back, sliding one under my body so that he can wrap me up in full embrace. The feeling of being enveloped in Carl's soft and strong warmth makes my heart skip a beat, and pretty soon I'm just as hard as he is. While his hands toy with my tail, I get to work, running my hands under his shirt, sliding them along his firm belly before pressing his shirt up. I mean, this game really hasn't had much in terms of age content besides hey we bang, but yeah. Carl tenses and giggles. Oh, fuck, tickles. I pause and smirk at him. I barely touched you. He gives his stomach a light prod. Wait, I give his stomach a light prod, and he curls up a bit before grabbing my wrist. Dude, I think I'm not used to being touched like ha 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 ha. I apply both hands this time, riding them like spiders up his stomach and chest. Dude, no. He twists and writhes under my hands, desperately trying to stifle his giggles, before finally snatching at my hands by the wrists. Ooh, ooh. I'm reminded how strong he is when he easily rolls me to my back, straddling my hips as he pins my hands above my head. Okay. You asshole. Carl's breathing heavily, letting out a giggle every now and then. But be quiet, Jenna might come up. Sorry, I've just never seen someone get so... I pause as I hear some movement from downstairs, followed by what sounds like Raven's voice. I'm reminded of her situation when I see some flakes of blood around Carl's nose and the big splotches on his shirt. I guess we're being a little loud. Yeah, how's your nose? Carl automatically raises a hand to touch his nose. It hurts a little bit, but I'm okay. That's good. I lay there in silence for a few seconds, feeling the moment is kind of ruined. I again look at the walls, remembering that we should be looking for something instead of messing around like this. What, we shouldn't be banging? What you looking at? Not sure. Hey, we should be finding something, right? My crotch is starting to get a little uncomfortable under the weight of Carl's body. I mean, didn't that ghost ancestor, whatever it was, tell you we need to find stuff? Carl rubs his nose. Yeah, in the last place we were at least. I guess it should be the same for this place, right? Unless it was what we already burned up. Yeah. Carl sits there quietly, thinking. Well, I think it might try and look down. I might try and look downstairs. You wanna stay up here and look around? Okay, but how are we gonna get downstairs? Yeah. I wanna get the other two to start looking too. The threat of Jenna hangs heavily in the air, and the way we're both obviously avoiding it makes it all the heavier. What about your ankle? I flex it around. The twinge is a lot less sharp now, though the stiffness feels even worse. I think I'm okay. Let me try it out.
Oh god, no.
Carl sits there for a while longer, then seems to suddenly realize that he needs to get off so I can get up. That's what she said. He scrambles off awkwardly as I sit up and swing my legs over the side of the bed. Pressing my foot to the floor, the twinge that runs through my ankle is minuscule. Standing up, I'm able to put some pressure on it before it hurts too much. Problem is that I can't bend the joint at all, leave me with an obvious and lumbering limp. Kind of reminds me of the time, like, years ago, like half a decade ago or more like that. I was doing like one of these like obstacle courses and the ground was really wet and I went to jump for a rope, but you know, it was wet and muddy, so instead of jumping, my feet went forward and all of me fell backwards and I hit my head hard on the ground. Not concussed, but then like afterwards it was like, oh, I can't turn my neck, and I couldn't turn it for the entire week for some reason. It's like weird when for some reason you just get hit and all of your muscles are like, yeah, we're not doing anything for like a week.
Damn, that has to suck. I mean, I woken up, from sleeping. My neck is like completely messed up. I definitely need to buy me I probably need to buy me like some new pillows, something like that, maybe something a little more, or get something for my back. I think that's what I need. First I need to buy me my Google Pixel watch, and then from there,
Get down the stairs at least? I warmed to the concern of Carl's voice. That moment. It's weird. That's weird way of saying it. Though I don't really want him and Jenna anywhere near each other. Especially after what she might have heard just now. Nah, I want to test it out a bit more. I turn my head to look back at Carl and still see a worried look on his face. I'll call you if I need any help, okay? Carl purses his lips. Alright. I trip down the stairs. The trip down the stairs is ponderous and awkward. I'm probably loud too, because when I reach the bottom, I find both Raven and Jenna already staring at me. Hey. Jen doesn't say anything, continuing to watch me. We stare at each other awkwardly for a bit, before she finally moves her head to look down at my leg. How's your leg?
Well, she sounds like she's back to normal.
Oh, it's alright. A bit stiff, though. I grasp at the opportunity to talk about anything other than what we're obviously avoiding. I think I should be able to walk normally, maybe in a few days. Hopefully in a few days, we'll be out of here so you can do that. Yeah, Jenna is definitely not herself right now. Her eyes are vacant, dull, and it's hard to explain, but they lack the mischievous and compassionate look that I'm used to seeing. Her voice is weird too. It's deeper, more husky, but not like Raven. We'll be out of here by then. Raven says it with a grin as he leans back in the chair he's sitting in. Yeah, actually, I want to talk to you guys about that. About what? About how to get out of here. And how do we do that? Well, I was thinking that the last time we were able to lock the door, all we had to do was find that letter. Raven blinks at me. So, we find a letter? Or something like that. We just need to find something, I think. We did find something. I look over at Jenna. Huh? I said we did find something. Carl burned it. No, he didn't. Oh, well, I don't think Carl burned it. He did. I pause. But there's gotta be something else. Or maybe whatever doing this has a way of putting something else here? I mean, yeah, that was the thing, because, like, the one that Carl had burned up, and then Chase got another one while he was being attacked by a smoke monster? We tried the closet. We haven't tried the door again. The others don't say anything. I don't know, but we can't just sit here, looking around. It's the least we can do. Where is Carl? Jenna's standing up now, looking at the ceiling. Faintly, I hear the clopping of Carl's hooves on the soft wood. He's looking around upstairs. Jenna continues to look up at the ceiling, her face stony. Let's start in this room. Raven stands up and starts walking along the wall, looking up and down the logs, prodding at the space between. Jenna's still looking up at the ceiling, and I worry that she's going to try to go upstairs. Hey Jenna, can you help me look around in the kitchen? Jenna looks back at me. Huh?
Is Jenna not going to help you?
Still kind of hurts. It'd be nice to be able to learn to lean on someone if I need to walk far, like to the kitchen. Jenna pauses before moving to my side. Man, I can't believe I had sex with her. She stands there stoically, an ugly, rampant arm around her shoulders. Thanks. Yeah. We amble slowly to the kitchen. Jenna stops in the middle of the room and waits. I guess I'll start with the cabinets? My voice goes up at the end, like I'm asking a question. Jen doesn't say anything, so I stumble away from her, again awkwardly, before finding support on the wooden pantry. I hesitantly start opening some of the cupboards, feeling a lot less in my idea than it was just a few minutes earlier. Jenna stares out the window. So, are you okay? She finally looks back at me, frowning. I'm fine. Why? You being really distant? Do you need me to stand next to you? No, I mean, you seem like you're not really here mentally. I'm sorry. I open another pantry door to set a glass of...
Looks like she's realizing her mistake, I'm guessing, because she's not longer possessed by, James Begay. And, Carl, obviously back to himself. He's no longer... John Begay and James Hendrick. I was like, wait, James Begay? Wait. That's not right. It's John Begay and James Hendrick. The first.
Mugs. Is it something to do with Carl? I know that Jenna was going through something similar to what Carl is. I just have no idea what's doing it, or why. Something that wants this to go as unsmoothly as possible, clearly. I don't know. I have a problem with Carl. Wait. I don't have a problem with Carl. I don't know why sometimes I read something and it's completely different. Maybe I got dyslexia. Yay. I mean, what you did yesterday. I just have a problem with the way he acts. He could do a lot if he puts his mind to it. It takes me a moment to realize that she's talking about what happened before all this. So, you attacked him? What? No, that was something else. I turn around and finally see something familiar about Jenna. Some life in her eyes. Maybe all I have to do is talk about stuff before the whole warp to Ghost Dimension. I mean, he tries. He just has problems. Shouldn't a psychology major know that? Jenna looks away from me. I guess but I'm not a therapist. So what? So, I don't know. No, I mean, shouldn't anyone have sympathy? I have a little more sympathy if he'd actually try and get help. He has, but it's not been that easy. Again, I don't feel like I should be explaining this to someone who has had 4 years of psychology under her belt. I try to get help, but I didn't feel better for years. Jen doesn't say anything. Carl's problems didn't really start until his first year of college. I keep pulling open cupboards, my heart sinking a little more each time there's nothing inside. I mean, yeah, he had problems before, but it's only getting worse for him. Well, it doesn't matter what I think about Carl right now. We're trying to find a way out of here, and screwing around isn't gonna help. Jenna says it in such a way that I feel it was supposed to be pointed. There's little doubt now that she's heard us messing around upstairs. I sigh and reach up to pull open the last cabinet. He's not who you think he is. It's so quiet and deep, I'm not sure that's Jenna that said it. I turn around, but she's already on the other side of the room, standing next to the opposite set of pantries. Did you say something? She doesn't respond. I stare at her for a few seconds before slowly turning back around. The fur on the back of my neck prickles at the idea of turning my back to her. Why did these damn ghosts have to be so subtle and cryptic? If that's what it is, of course. Seems like James had no trouble telling Carl about the whole clue-finding crap. Why couldn't they just tell him, or even Jenna right now, instead of creeping me out? The kitchen isn't very big, so I ran out of things to search through pretty quickly. I skipped the area around the window, though, not having forgotten what happened yesterday. Yesterday? I don't know how to keep track of time in this place. I look back over at Jenna, who's still in the same place, staring at the pantry. The thought that maybe I myself could be possessed momentarily passed through my mind. About that. For some reason, I doubt it, even though I'm not sure why. I don't really feel like I'm of interest to whatever it is that's doing this. At least not directly. As I continue to stare, I see something past Jenna, at the base of the stairs. A ram's horn curling out from around the corner to the entrance of the stairs. I stare for a moment. Hey, I'm gonna go upstairs. Jenna's head snaps back sharply to stare at me, and I swear I can hear a neck crack. Just see if he found anything. Well, I'll be back. I awkwardly sidle up the way out of the kitchen towards the stairs, Jenna's face following me the entire way. Once I reach the base of the stairs, I find Carl standing there. He jumps when I come around the corner and stands straight up, one hand rested against the wall. His eyes are red, and the short fur on his face is all messed up. Carl, are you okay? A whisper, but Carl immediately turns around and starts back up the stairs quietly. I follow him, wondering what it could be. Did he find something horrific? I wouldn't be surprised at all if that were the case. Once we reach the top of the stairs, Carl heads straight for the bedroom. I think it's a good time to save it because, stuff and things. I mean, I guess, if we run into thing, we can just load that one and go back to it, We don't have all the save files in the world, but it do be like that. So anyways, and if this let's play some comment, because I like comments, if you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the videos do up a grow, and please remember this video.
Alrighty then, let's see, we're gonna go to, Let's see. Let me check out the playlist. Where was I on Tian Wei Wei? I think that's what I've been calling it right now. I don't know how you actually say it, but let's see. Oh yeah, there you go. Where did I stop on this one? So it's been a few. So right here, episode 26. Let's go. Let's see if this is where I'm at.
You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey you guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's Sunday Mounts. What is the game we drag today? I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Tian Wei Wei. Anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. As she spoke, Sally took me into the room. I entered the room carefully to avoid stepping on the threshold beneath. Upon entering the room, the smell of old wood and dust in the air was noticeable. Even though they said the furnitures inside hadn't been used for a while, these still looked somewhat new and in mint condition. While it is nothing sumptuous, but the condition and utility of the bed, bookshelf, and chair within my standards. Even though they looked aged and used, they still looked fine, and detailed after a brief cleanup and polishing. The desire to look and touch these furnitures began swelling up within and write their sensation within the diary for reference. On top of that, the room itself is very large. When I first heard that it's a storage room, I kinda expected a rather crowded room. Looking at this room now, it is, well, beyond my expectation. Giving me such a large living space, I thought it would be small and dirty. Never would I have thought they'd put so much effort into cleaning it for me. We left the window open to let fresh air in, but it seems like the smell hasn't quite dissipated yet. No serious issue here. The smell here isn't that heavy. I can tolerate it. That won't do. It seems like it needs some more time for ventilation. So, about this room. Overall, it's not that unclean. The smell will go away soon, and these furnitures were covered in cloth, so they shouldn't gather too much dust either. Just need to move the useless stuffs out of the way and wipe the floor clean. I wonder why you guys clean up.
I was gonna say this game is pretty interesting, but so far it hit kind of a lull right now. Nothing new is happening ever since he's hit the headquarters. Mostly just dealing with paperwork, introducing people. It's mostly comedy, but hey, I understand that, you gotta have some, levity, some humor to break things up. Can't have everything, super angry and serious all the time. That's not good.
So quickly. From today onward, this is your room. Also, please don't think of yourself as an outsider during your stay here. If there's anything you found out that isn't well prepared, do let us know. Treat this place as your home and set down your luggage over there. Give me a room like this. I'm really grateful and can't even thank you guys enough. How can I even say that the service here isn't good? I tossed my pack onto a table. A waft of fragrance began passing by my nose. It smells like incense. One that isn't choking or makes me uncomfortable. Sorry, I just lit a bundle of sandalwood incense to make the smell in the room better. If you aren't used to the smell, I can extinguish it. So it's actually incense. There's no problem. I found the smell to be quite pleasant. I'm getting used to it already. As long as you are okay with it. Next, Sally picked up a small, exquisite-looking basket and came over with it.
So it looks like, I think, what was his name? Tex, right? Yeah, Tex. I think his other brother was Cloud. So I'm seeing Tex and Cloud. And so far, he finally, at least he got himself a room, and he's an official member now. So what's gonna happen next?
For you, and allow me to explain. You guys prepared this much too. Sorry that you guys had to put this much effort for me. You are being far too courteous. These are just daily necessities, but why would it be a burden to us? Oh, okay. Second, y'all. It is water time. First, this is the room key. Remember to put the side with the notch upward when unlocking and rotate one cycle in the counterclockwise direction to open the door. Got it. And this pen and booklet here is what Bayou asked me to give you. The pen was a gift from a customer before, but since we are used to writing with brushes, this pen has never been used. And this here is the ink for the pen. Ah, you even prepared these for me, thanks. Speaking of Tex, do you have any plans on learning how to use a writing brush? There's an opportunity in the future, but I've heard writing brush and calligraphy is quite hard to learn. That won't be a problem. If you're interested, everyone here in Tianhui Wei will be happy to teach you, no matter who you ask. Anyone can? Even Chen Hu? An image of Chen Hu holding a writing brush and attempting to do calligraphy appeared in my head. Somehow that image doesn't match my impression of him at all. And here is the dinner that Chen Hu asked me to give you. It's quite late today, so there wasn't enough time to properly prepare some dinner. Here's some steamed buns. Please bear with these for your dinner. Sorry. She passed a plate from the basket over to me, and on top of it are 2 hot and steaming yellow buns. Ah, no problem. 2 buns like these is definitely enough to fill me up. But I thought steamed buns are supposed to be white. And these are specially made sweet corn buns. They're sweeter than normal white flour buns. Please have a taste for yourself. Really, sweet corn buns, it's kind of the thing that Chen Hu would give me. And here's the chi restoration pills made by Kurlno. They help to maintain and adjust your inner blood flow and blood oxygen and body oxygen level, allowing you to better adjust the environments here. And make sure to take 5 pills of boiled water after you finish dinner. Sally then handed the gourd to me. Upon it, the words Kurlno's chi restoration pills are neatly carved. Will I be fine eating that guy's medicine? After handing me all the things to me, the little fox plans to depart. Right, these are all the things I need to remind you about. Any other questions here? I looked at the basket full of items, trying to process all the information conveyed. I think I just about remember everything here. No need for you to worry further. Not to mention, I can't really let her waste more of her time settling me in. About Kurlno and Mosea, they might have left some poor impressions on you today, and for that, on their behalf, I apologize to you. As soon as she finished this sentence, Sally bowed to me. Nah, none at all. I understand them well, and there's no need for apologies and such. Even though Kurlno loves cracking jokes at others, I hope you won't be too afraid of him. He is extremely responsible when his profession is involved in the matter, and his skills in Ji Kingdom's medical field is top-notch and highly praised. That's how great he is? Sally smiled and pointed at the gourd full of the medicines.
Yeah, I'm guessing, obviously, that friggin' scientist guy has not done a very good job of, being a very good first impression, but it looks like he's very well received and reliable.
As if she knows my doubts will end. Well, the jokes he makes daily can be ignored. Any medicine he makes doesn't have even 1 ounce of issue. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, without his medicine, my arm's condition would be far worse right now. And for the wound to heal this quickly, it's definitely thanks to his medicine. Thank you, Sally. As for the medicines, please give Kurlno my thanks later. One second now. Watch that. Oh, I won't be doing that. If you need to thank someone, it's best to say your thanks to them yourself. If you feel like exploring the parlor, why not have a stroll after your dinner? The place isn't that big, and if you have any issues, you can ask me anything. Me or anyone else. While saying that, Sally quickly patted her skirt. Under the last glaze from the sunset, dust can be seen drifting around in the air. Oh, I almost forgot. The hand-washing basin is over there, and the kettle is just right next to it. If you have any need for hot water, you can fetch some from the kitchen. After high o'clock, 9 to 11 p.m., there won't be any more newly boiled water. If you feel like you might need water, please prepare an extra kettle or 2 before then. High o'clock. Let me think. It's the equivalent of our clock system by... Oh, right. It's around 9 or 10 p.m. Now I must go and get old master his medicine. See you later, Tex. Alright. Sally left after placing the gifts down while I began unpacking my luggage. I grabbed everything out of my book bag and laid them on the table, and then categorized each of them by their types, and started placing them into the drawers or on the other side of the desks. I didn't bring much for this journey, and soon I was able to clean up quickly. I sighed, sitting on the wooden chair, looking at the dropping sun in the distance. The soft breeze blows in within the cracks shown by the orange sunlight. A sense of loneliness and melancholy brewed in my empty heart. From days onwards, this is my new room. I don't know how long I'll be here in the future, but what's important for me now is to retrieve that book. Dad, Mom, even Cloud, my brother, sacrificed everything to protect it, and compared to what they gave, sacrificing some time and money is nothing. I looked at the steamed buns in the basket, still steamy and piping hot. My brows furrowed and I smiled looking at the buns. If I didn't eat and wasted these, Chen-Hu would surely get really angry at me. Whew, well, better finish my dinner first, then I'll go out for a stroll around the yard. I walked next to the washing basin and tried to wash my hands, only for the chilling temperature of the water to give me a shiver. Ugh, too cold! After washing my hands, I sat in front of the desk and began chewing on the bun.
Okay. This background looks a lot more like a tarot card. It's very ornate.
Buns, while reflecting on everything that happened. This bun is a little too sweet. While being sweet, the taste isn't one that's greasy or overwhelming. Under the drive of hunger, I began taking bite after bite out of the bun while reflecting on everything that just happened. The stack of files on the table when I was in the parlor seems like everyone here is quite busy usually. If I can, from here onwards, I should try to help them do something, like some simple cleanup or what, and maybe can I do something else on the wall, something else as well? But what can I do? Help them with the writing reports? Huh. Why is that every time when I want to do something, I find myself lacking the ability to do anything at all? Sometimes it just feels so useless. Except for writing. And for nothing at all. Heck, I'm gonna be a burden during battle as well. The buns in my mouth starts getting bitterer as I chewed on it. Looking back all these years, I feel like I'm always relying on other people. What a terrible feeling. What am I even doing? I finished the bun in my hand and poured a hot cup of water from the kettle. I looked at the reflection of myself within the cup, wavering, flickering, uncertain. Damn it, have some self-efficacy. Stop condemning yourself already. Look at the bright side. With how unlucky I am already, surely there's no more misfortunes coming my way. God, why would you ever fucking say that, you idiot? The road ahead is simple and everything I need to accomplish is clear. Work here, find that book, clear my debts, and earn enough to return to Morrow. Sounds easy enough.
I wish we knew more about Morrow. I feel like we never get to know much about it. We just know that Tex is from there, and that's it.
After dinner, I followed Sally's advice for medicine. Upon opening the gourd of medicine from Kronos, some small black and round pills rolled out from it, and together with the pills is a weird and horrible medicinal smell as well. Ugh, finally understand why that patient was screaming about refusing to eat his medicines. It smells horrendous! While doubting it, I chose to trust Chen-Hu and Sally's words. And because I trust them, I am willing to trust the seemingly unreliable doctor. I held my breath and shoved the pills into my mouth, before gulping them down with some water, quickly sinking all of it down my stomach. But as soon as the pills touched my taste buds, I felt my face turning green. Oh, for God's sake! What are these made of? Why do they taste so disgusting? Ugh! 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 I tried to spit and get rid of the bitter taste from my mouth. Ugh! Give up. At least everything necessary is done. Might as well go out and take a stroll around here. I closed the gourd, washed my hand, took my key with me, and left the room. As soon as I walked out, cold winds and flustering waves assaulted me. Feels like it's gonna get dark soon. Whew! This night wind sure makes me feel cold. I think about it, I'm still not familiar around here. Alright then, where should I go? Oh, let's see what's over there. Let's go back to the parlor. I've been there, but one more time might help me memorize the way there. I followed the route Sally used to guide me to my room and successfully returned to the parlor. Just when I thought the parlor would be empty, I saw a light shining through the windows and a figure who seemed to be handling certain work. Eh? It's already this late and someone's still here. Is it Mosea who stayed behind? The figure had his back facing in my direction while trying to categorize the stacked files on the desk, while mumbling about something. As I approached, as if the person heard my footsteps, his white ears twisted a little, then he put the files down and turned to me. Ah, it's quite late already. Is there anything I can help you with, Tex? Why are you here? Are you still dealing with work even when it's this late? Due to our stay in Jijiao, we have accumulated some commission files that require categorization. I decided to help since this may be too much for Mosea to handle alone. Anyway, I'm almost finished here. I'll be taking these files to the record storage hall shortly. Not an easy job, it seems. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Nah, nothing big going on. Alrighty then, let's see. Will the next episode be better, or should I go and let's see? Does he have anything else? Oh, there's tennis ace right there. That could be good. There's also Dawn Course. Let's see. You finished Santa Lucia. And anyone else? I thought I left a comment on this one, or was it the other one? I don't know what to do next. Let me see. Unless it may have deleted it away. It's a possibility. That is a possibility. Let's see. All right, anything good? Like, let's see. You guys got anything? Japanese dub. What the fuck? Alright, let's see. See if I can get any better commentary right now. Let's see. God damn it, man. Let's see. Let's see. Well, anything better? Best clock club you have never heard of. Okay, let's check this one out.
You know, trying to find innovation in the pistol market now, especially when it comes to striker fire guns, is getting harder and harder to do. And today we're going to look at one, the Falcon 9XC, and I'm going to tell you if I think it's just another copy or if they actually do have some innovation going on here and what that innovation actually is. But just to ruin part of it, it kind of has both. And I'm going to give you my opinion, of course, and I want to hear yours, and I definitely want to hear from you guys. When it comes to innovation, over the past 2 or 3 years, what are some of the pistols that actually come to mind? I've reviewed some of them over that time period, even within the past 5 years, I would say. But do you agree with my assessment that it's getting harder and harder to find, or do you just think, hey, guns are as good as they're ever going to be, why change it up? Whatever your opinion is, leave that down below. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So the Falcon 9XC, at first glance, you're going to see exactly where it actually gets its inspiration from, and that's Glock. But aside from that, they've done some really interesting things here. So you have tapering at the front here to aid in holstering. One of the more common things that you're going to see now is a comped slide, integrated comp right there. So no thread, no timing, no nothing. It's just there. There is no ports in the barrel. It is a fluted barrel, but there's no ports there. It is just the integrated comp towards the front.
It looks like a mix of, like, let's see, like a 6 Sauer, a Glock. Was that a Celtic Yeet cannon? Some other pistols like that.
Optic cut with an RMR footprint right there. Kind of cool on the top of the plate. They have an American flag, so that's kind of neat. And then we have lightning cuts in the slide. Front and rear slide serrations. They kind of have all these, you know, kind of cool cuts in the slide. Obviously, that's going to lighten it up just a little bit, but it's also going to aid because now we have the comp. And so sometimes comp pistols, I found that they may not like a certain grain of bullet, especially like 115s, depending on the load and the manufacturer, of course, but that kind of aids in that as well. You have fairly tall night sights here, or the rear is blacked out, and the front has a tritium with a night sight installed there as well. Single slot rail in the front. We have very aggressive grip texturing on this gun. So basically, if you know, almost, I don't know, I can't say a percentage, but a lot of people will take their Glocks and they will stipple them and make that grip much more aggressive, right? Especially when you're firing under recoil, when your hands are sweating. It's very useful in all of that, I would say. And you have that aggressive grip texturing towards the front where your indexing points are as well. A couple backstrap options. These are aluminum, not plastic. The aluminum trigger as well. It's kind of a flat face design. You have ambidextrous slide stop, reversible magazine release patterned after the Gen 4s and Gen 5s, of course. And yeah, it takes clock mags. Flared magwell here as well. Undercut under that trigger guard, and same takedown.
I wonder, I'm guessing there's like no, what's that, copy, what's that, there's no, I guess, there's no, fuck, what is that, there's like no patent anymore on Glock mags?
Procedure as a Glock, right, you have your 2 takedown notches on either side. Yeah, push it forward. We've seen this about 100,000 times on YouTube now, so nothing really exciting there, but that's how it actually breaks down. So, dual captive guy rod too, by the way. I took this out to the range, and I was shooting at like an 8x12 at 50 yards, and I was consistently hitting it. And one thing I will say is I think the trigger is not lighter than a Glock by any means. I think they list it right under 6 pounds. Maybe a little bit more predictable. Definitely a more clearly defined wall. I mean, it just hits the wall, it stops. From that wall, it breaks. So the trigger could use a little bit of work, but still, like I said, at 50 yards with a pistol with iron sights consistently hitting it, that's pretty good. So I wanted to add a little bit something extra than what I originally shot at the end of this video. So that hence the different shirt here, because I wanted to give you something to think about. For anybody looking at these pistols over a Glock, which is most likely what you're going to end up doing, you got to ask, why do you want a clone over just a Glock, right? Just get the original. Well, it needs to be reliable. We already know that. it also needs to be, in my opinion, cheaper. Even with upgrades, right? Generally speaking, the gun should come in a little bit cheaper, because otherwise you can just get the original and do what you need to do. You know, $100, $200 more for some people might not be a lot. But if you can get some of those upgraded features, and you're kind of like me where I don't like doing a lot of stuff to one particular gun, then, you know, economically, this may be a better option. So when we look at that with the night sights, actually this is an upgrade over Glock sights all the way around, the built-in comp, right? The MOS is going to cost you a little bit more. This one is already cut for that. Lightning cuts, fluted barrel. Grip angle is another thing to consider. While this one's, I think it's similar for sure, maybe a little better, more comfortable in the hand. Don't have to worry about stippling. You have back straps on this one as well, so you can change that out. Flared mag well, some ambidextrous features. Overall, the value is better. Front and rear slide serrations too, which are actually really good. Can't say that the trigger is that much better, maybe a little bit, but not much. But you compare this to like a Gen 5 19 or 17, which was going to be $550 to $600. This is right there in the ballpark with some better features to go along with it. Now, when it comes to the world of Glock clones, I think there's a better option out there for this. But I think I'm going to save that for another video that's upcoming and talk about this exact topic because I think you guys will really enjoy it. Some people will argue that all of these striker fire guns are Glock clones. And while we give credit to Glock for really innovating all of this, not the first, but the innovators in this space, there's a lot of companies that do this better than Glock. But if you like Glock and you like the way it feels, but you just want a pistol that's going to offer you more for a little bit less money, I think the Falcon 9XC is a fine gun. It's not going to break the mold per se, but it does a fine job. And so far, from what I've seen,
well, that's good. I mean, so far, most of these Glock clones are usually not all that good or great, but if you find one that is great, that's good, and it's cheaper.
This one has been reliable. So I could say with certainty now, right now, that I can trust it up to this point. So there you go. That's been my experience with the Falcon 9XC. Of course, I'd love to hear yours, man. What do you think the best Glock clone is? Are you just getting tired of this? Is it getting a little old for you as far as all the striker fire guns that are kind of Glock clones or otherwise? Let me know what you think down below. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.
Alrighty then. I think that's why I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna make this kind of short. I mean, I feel like my reactions were okay, maybe a bit muted. Cause like, nah, I won't. Not every single thing. Sage the Fairy, rating at the very end with a party of 8. Ah, dang. I feel kind of bad. But if you don't know me, that's alright. If you don't know me, my name is InugamiTheHound. I'm a variety streamer. I stream many different type of games. But one of the things I like to start, rating a lot, doing a lot more now, is reaction streams. Hello, happy birthday, thank you. Yeah, my birthday was a couple of days ago. It was just, it was officially 4 days ago. But like like I said, I haven't streamed since my birthday. So. And thank you guys so much. Let's see. If you guys need to keep up with my social media, you can. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to follow me, please do so. Like I say, I stream a bunch of different games. I do reaction streams, all that type of stuff. But most importantly, the past couple of weeks have been pretty decent, I have to say. Seeing a lot more people in this chat, seeing a lot more people rating me, and because of that, it's been a lot more positive things are happening, donations or, Twitch bits or, just increasing my view count, all that type of stuff has been happening. Oh, okay. Let's see. So please, if you guys can follow me, that's great. Another thing I'm doing is a giveaway. So win yourself a. If you're living in America, this is what I'm doing my giveaway. You can win yourself a Xbox Series S console, and that ends on July 4th. I have the console. Now I just got wait until the competition's done and give it away to someone. But let's see. I'm gonna raid. Who am I gonna raid? Yeah, I see any small channels. Another fellow furry streamer. You have a good night. Yeah. I will. I definitely need to get some sleep because I'll be meeting up with the family tomorrow and work as well. All right. Someone's playing Yakuza 3 Remastered. He's already on Yakuza 3. I think the last time I saw him, maybe you saw Yakuza 2. And this one is kind of the weaker ones, depending on who you talk to. I think it's still a great, amazing Yakuza game. But hey, there you go. The message will be and you can pick whatever emotes you want. I'm going with mine. Here. More butts, and there you go. If you want to copy that, you can. And we'll be heading out. I want to thank you guys. I love you guys. Hopefully the raider who's raided me is trusting me with their community, and hopefully when I take you to this next person, they can trust me and this person, Sage the Ferret, with your community. Thank you guys so much, and goodbye. I love you guys. Hopefully over the weekends I can start getting back into playing Yakuza. I finish up, the final route of Nier. I beat that Fox game, so I need to replace that with maybe South of Midnight or Oblivion or something else, and then trying to finish up what's that game? Dynasty Warriors, yeah. And if you guys like Dynasty Warriors, I got another Dynasty Warriors game to play. Or Romance of the 13 game. I played that as well. So yeah. Thank you guys so much, and goodbye.
Inugami. Hi. What are you up to tonight? Just chatting. I don't. I feel like you've done more than just chatting. Tell me what you hath played tonight. I am curious. I'd like to know. Really would. Ay. Oh no.